New York Giants week number 9 preview as the Giants play the footballs, and they are on the road this time. Washington is coming off a bye. The last time they played was 2 weeks ago against the Cowboys. They won 25-3 or something. It was pretty rough. The Cowboys looked terrible. Dalton got hurt, and it was a pretty dominant victory for them, honestly. But I know the Cowboys stink, so don't put too much stock into it. But Washington, according to Vegas and according to most sports books, are the favorites in this game, which is a bit of a surprise. I know they're coming off the bye, as I said, but I look at these teams as pretty equal, but the Giants, I feel like, have been playing harder this year. They've been in more closer games. I feel like the Giants should win this game. I have them, projected to win. That's my prediction at least, and I could be wrong, but it's just kind of concerning to see that. Of course, Washington has the scary front seven that we know about. They have a couple good cornerbacks now in Darby, and they have Fuller as well. So yeah, I mean, look, they're a pretty respectable team in some areas, especially on defense. But their offense, once again, does not scare me too much. But we'll dive into both sides of the ball here. So for the offense, we start with Devontae Freeman. He'll be out once again with the ankle injury. Washington averages 3.1 sacks per game, so that's a little tough of a task for the Giants' offensive line. The Giants' offensive line against Tampa looked really good. I think Jones was sacked maybe once or twice at most. It really wasn't bad at all. The offensive line I thought was really good. We'll see Shane Lemieux once again start in this game most likely because Hernandez cannot return from the COVID yet. Daniel Jones' lifetime against Washington is 3-0. So, of course, last year his second career start beat them pretty easily. Then beat them in that overtime game in Week 16 last year, and then this year they won by 2 points just about a month ago or so. So that was it seems like Daniel Jones has their number, and hopefully he makes it 4-0. As I said, Kendall Fuller, even Ronald Darby have been playing really well at cornerback for these guys this year. So Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard might have a tougher task. They haven't been too good in the slot this year, Washington. So that's the one spot you can exploit them. Our slot receiver is going to get benched this week because of his little distractions that have been going on with, throwing me the ball and his wife posting stuff on Instagram and all that nonsense. So he'll be benched this game. I have that written down next. I have Landon Collins is on the IR. He will not be there, the former Giants safety, so a backup safety's in for them. Front seven still scary. I talked about the sacks they average per game. It's fifth best in the league. Golden Tate benched, and I think C.J. Board and Austin Mack are set to potentially take his spot. It would be a nice spot for Dante Pettis, but he cannot play yet because the new protocol has it you have to wait. I forget how many days. You have to wait a good amount of days to play, and I think he was claimed on Monday or Tuesday, maybe Tuesday. Maybe Wednesday. Tuesday or Wednesday he was claimed Pettis, so he will not, be able to pass the protocol in time to play for this game, unfortunately. So he will not be there. But C.J. Board, Austin Mack, one of those guys could play as the third receiver. We'll see what they can do. I mentioned Shane Lemieux will start again. He played all right. He was, pretty good at some points and then not so good at some other points. The pass blocking was, it was a bit iffy, I'm not going to lie, and he has a tough task once again against some good, defensive tackles here for Washington, but we'll see if he can play better in his second game. Let's see Andrew Thomas play well again. He has not really had many opportunities. Well, he's had opportunities, but hasn't really had many games where he's played well in back-to-back performances, or back-to-back games, I should say. So hopefully he can find a way to do that and be a bit more consistent. He'll be opposite of Montez Sweat most of the game, maybe Chase Young sometimes, so we'll see. It's a tough task regardless of who it is. Daniel Jones, as I mentioned, this is a matchup where he's done well in previous years. He's, that Week 16 game last year, he killed it. Last year in the first game against them, he wasn't too bad either. I forget what he did against them earlier this year. I'm not really sure. It wasn't the worst game though, I don't think. So Jones has been doing pretty well against Washington. This would be a great, opportunity to just not turn the ball over. I feel like last time they played these guys, the Giants had a very conservative game plan and did not want Jones. Actually, Jones did have a turnover. Yeah, he had that red zone interception that I still think was out of bounds. The guy's knee was out of bounds, but I think it was Kendall Fuller came down with it. And, it was a bad interception. I'm not going to lie. But I wish he threw it out of bounds. But, yeah, if he just takes away the bad interception this game or the bad fumble at the wrong time, the Giants should win this game, but at this point, this far into his career, I can't trust Daniel Jones to go the full game without fumbling. But I really hope he can do it because, I think if they do it, the Giants could actually win this game, and they probably should win this game. On to the Giants' defense. So Washington, as I said, they come off a bye. They could have a decent game plan here. I put gameplay. I was definitely supposed to be offensive game plan, but typo. I'm not going back and fixing that now. You guys get it. But yeah, they could have a good offensive game plan here. They don't have the best offense. We know Kyle Allen. Last time we played him, just threw the game away. He looked better against the Cowboys last week, but still, Kyle Allen's not a top 20 quarterback in this league. He's a beatable guy. We should be able to at least not have him throw all over us. But you never know with this team. Ryan Lewis, the cornerback, he's supposed to be the cornerback too, was out for this game once again. It will be Isaac Yiadom probably drawing the start. He started last week, did pretty well in some spots. I mean, he played some soft coverage sometimes, but had a couple key pass breakups in there. So I think if he can build off that, that would be great for the Giants defense. Washington's offensive line ranks 31st in pass blocking. I think they're league average in run blocking, but pass blocking wise, 31st in the NFL. Can Kyler Fackrell get there? Dalvin Tomlinson? Can we see? I don't think O'Shane's playing. I'm trying to think. I don't think he is, but Carter Coughlin, he played. Cam Brown. Leonard Williams, of course, I think is the sack leader on this team. Can those guys get to the quarterback against the 31st ranked offensive line? You would think so. So hopefully they find a way to do that. Let's see. Washington's left tackle is doubtful. I forget the guy's name, but I'll look up their backup real quick. It was something like, what's the guy's name? It is Jerron Christian Sr. is the guy who's doubtful for this game, not out, doubtful. And Cornelius Lucas, I feel like he was a Falcon maybe. I don't know, but I feel like that guy was a Falcon at one point. He's not that good. So the Giants get a backup left tackle here that they get to face, which will be great, obviously. So we'll see if they can take advantage of that one. Their offense for Washington has averaged 19 point something points per game. It's not the scariest group. That's 30th in the NFL. The Giants are at 18.1, I think, per game. So they're 31st in the NFL. They're definitely not the scariest group either. But the Giants offense has been playing better lately, so I'll give them that. So really what it comes down to in this game is, just like last time they played these guys, don't beat yourselves. It's going to be a bit conservative. They're going to settle for field goals when they probably should go for it and stuff like that. But it's a winnable game, and if they're serious about making the playoffs this year, then this is a game they probably have to win. I'm going to look up the standings real quick because they play Washington this week, then they play the Eagles next week, and if they win these two games, the Eagles are up by basically 2 games on us and own the tiebreaker right now. So if the Giants win this one, go to 2-7, they would still be in third place, I believe. I'm not even sure. But then if they beat the Eagles, who, I don't know, the Eagles play this week. I should probably look that one up as well. But do they play? Oh, no, they're on a bye. The Eagles are on a bye this week. So if the Giants win this week and win next week, they might be like a half game out, or maybe one game. One game or half game. But they have to win these next 2 games, in my opinion, to at least have a chance to make the playoffs. If they lose tomorrow, then, yeah, it's probably season over, in my opinion. So if they find a way to win, which is possible, Washington's not a powerhouse, the Eagles are not a powerhouse, and then they play the Bengals, I think, out of the bye. Maybe they win 3 in a row. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I mean, knowing the Giants, they'll probably go 1-2, but, I mean, anything's possible, so we'll find out. But my score prediction for this game is 24-20 Giants. I think it's a game they should win. I'm not too confident in seeing that the sports books all over the place have Washington as the favorites. It's a bit concerning, and they know a lot more than I do probably, so that is a bit of a concern. So we'll find out. Maybe Washington, as I said, has that great offensive game plan. They come out and play really well. I don't know. And the Giants have to cover Logan Thomas. We didn't cover him that well last time. I think Love gave up a touchdown to him, if I remember correctly, but you look at the playmakers on this team, once again, McLaurin's really good, I get that, but Cam Sims, who had the late touchdown against us last time, Robert Foster, he's on this team now. I think he's a former Bill. He's a pretty good player, pretty solid player. If I'm thinking, yeah, it is him. Okay, so Foster, don't get beat deep by him, because that's like the one thing he does is just run, he just runs fly routes and catches touchdowns for long touchdowns. Isaiah Wright, Tony Brown, I don't even know who these people are. I mean, we should not really be, honestly, J.D. Mckissick, I mentioned him the last time I did a breakdown for this game. J.D. Mckissick is he's a pain, and on third down and shorts, third and mediums, third and longs even, they'll dump it off to him, and sometimes he'll pick up first downs. He killed the Giants last time I feel like we played them, so watch out for McKissick once again. That's pretty much it, though. Logan Thomas I mentioned. Jeremy Sprinkle's their other tight end. Their offensive line is meh. It's okay. It's not that great, but yeah, the Giants